In this video, I'm going to teach you how to master the TH sound in English once and for all. If you struggle with this sound, you're not alone. It is very common, but I am going to give you the step-by-step guide for how to do it and some words that you can use to practice. So let's get started. Learning English pronunciation, mastering specific English sounds is not just about sounding more natural. That's great. Yeah, that's great. It's also about communicating clearly, because one sound can make the difference between someone understanding you and someone not understanding you. Not pronouncing things clearly can cause misunderstandings. And one of the most common issues is the TH sound. Why? Not that many languages around the world have the TH sound, so it's kind of unique in English.
Denial is a river in Egypt.
I've been seeing this sound all over TikTok, but I think it's a great example of the importance of the TH sound. It's a play on words in this case. Denial is a river in Egypt. The Nile is a river in Egypt. If you don't say it correctly, then you could cause confusion. Okay, so we need to understand the different sounds that TH can make, and we need to understand how to make those sounds. Now, to be clear, in this video, we're not going to be focusing on the TH sound that makes T or the T sound in words like Thomas, because that's just the T sound. Okay, so sometimes TH makes T.
Thomas is a tank engine.
But in most cases, it's either the voiced or the unvoiced TH. Now, the nice thing about the voiced and the unvoiced TH sound is that they're no different in what you're doing with your mouth and your tongue. They're the same. The only difference is that in one, you're using your voice, and in the other, you're not. So you're turning your voice on or off, right? So when you make this sound, what are you doing with your mouth? Pretty simple. You separate your teeth like that, so they're not touching, right? And then you simply push your tongue out between your teeth, like this. So if you can do that, you're halfway there, okay? See, my teeth are not touching, little space between them, and then, Now, some people are uncomfortable with this, the idea of sticking my tongue outside of my head to make a noise. Well, I'm sorry, but that's how it's made. English is a very open language in that way. Gotta move your mouth a lot, okay? So start with that. Now what you want to do is push air out of your mouth. But if it only goes around the sides of your tongue, it's not going to sound right. It'll sound like this. What am I doing? I'm biting down on my tongue, not allowing any air to go out between my tongue and my teeth. And that is why it sounds wrong. Okay, so what I need to do is let some air go between my tongue and my teeth, okay? So let's try that. Okay, now let's try to turn the voice off. That's it. So all you have to do is put your tongue out between your teeth, which are not closed, and then make sure there is some air between your tongue and your top teeth. And it's okay if there's some going around too, but if it's only going around the sides, it's going to sound like this. And your tongue might actually hurt a little bit, okay? So if you can do that, you can make the TH sound. If you can't, you need to practice. So what are some of the common issues with pronouncing this sound? Well, it depends on whether it's voiced or unvoiced. But again, remember the difference there is just the, th. So I'm not doing anything different here. It's all just turning my voice on or off. The issues with the voiced sound would be maybe my tongue is too far back behind my teeth and it sounds like a Z.
I can't believe I've done this. I mean, I really cannot believe I've done this!
So for example, if I say this, if you say it correctly, this. It's a very gentle feeling. I'm not biting the tip of my tongue off. It's very soft, right? My teeth are separated, not clenched down on my tongue. I'm feeling the air move between my top teeth and my tongue, and it sounds really nice. And I can continue that sound for several seconds. And if I turn my voice off, okay, so you have to practice that. But if it's too far back, then it sounds like Z, which is this. Oh, well, that's the Z sound. Zzz. Notice my teeth are closed and my tongue is not between my teeth. Well, that's a problem. All right. Often, though, the issue is not that it sounds like a Z, but that it sounds like a D.
Egg, like, how do you call it when it's not a, like...
Scrambled egg?
Yeah, scrambled egg with ketchup. What is this?
This is when the tongue is even further back and actually blocks the air from coming out and is then released. Denial is a river in Egypt rather than the Nile is a river in Egypt. Do you hear the difference? Well, yeah, one is d. And when you say d, your tongue is actually against the roof of your mouth, and for a moment, it's actually blocking all the air from coming out. Okay, so that's clearly not the TH sound. That's clearly the D sound. Two different sounds. Denial, the Nile. Denial, the Nile. So how can you make sure you've got this? Pretty simple. You could just make sure that your tongue is outside of your mouth. And if it's not right. It's not going to sound right. So you can stand in front of a mirror, or if you want to do something a little easier, I think, just put your finger right here and then make sure that your tongue is touching your finger when you say the Nile, this, because when I say denial and this, my tongue is not touching my finger. That's it. That's your test. So I can look at my finger and see that there's a little saliva there. So yes, I've got it. Now, of course, it could be that you're biting down too hard and the air is going around. Fair enough. Make sure that it sounds right. There you have to use your ears. But at least you can get that physical reassurance that yes, you are putting your tongue outside of your mouth between your teeth. Okay, so what about issues with the unvoiced TH sound? Well, it's actually quite similar, except it's unvoiced. So instead of sometimes the TH sound sounding like this with a Z, sometimes it sounds like S and S, which is again wrong. It's not correct. And that can cause misunderstandings with words like think and sink. Because if people hear you say sink and you mean think, then they might think that you mean sink when really you mean think. And that causes problems, right?
I think so.
Sometimes I hear people use an F sound instead of a TH sound. So instead of think, I might hear think. Well, there again, you're touching your bottom lip to your top teeth. That's a problem. That's not how you make the sound. Perfect. Sometimes I hear that T pronunciation instead of the TH pronunciation. Now, as I said, with words like Thomas, yeah, it should be the T sound, but that's not nearly as common as the voiced and the unvoiced TH sound. Not nearly as common. So, for example, if you say tink, 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 instead of think, 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 what you're doing there again is you're putting your tongue behind your teeth, not between your teeth. You're blocking the air, not allowing the air to go out, and so it sounds like t, 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 tink, tink, tink. So that's kind of similar to the dis, except t, t, t is an unvoiced sound, okay? So again, this is all, I think, very easy. Ask yourself, is my tongue between my teeth? Yes or no? If you want to make sure, do the finger trick, right? Then ask yourself, is the air going between my tongue and my teeth? Yes, okay. If so, can I continue that sound for several seconds? One issue that I sometimes see is that it's a little too hard, so you're biting down too hard on your tongue, and even though the air is coming out, it ends very quickly. So, well, you're biting down too hard. Simply open your mouth a little bit more. Don't bite down so hard on your tongue. You should be able to say it for several seconds, and if you can't, then it's not right. Again, it takes practice, self-awareness, and using those little tricks to sort of have a checklist of, yes, I'm doing that, yes, I'm doing that, and yes, I'm doing that. And if you're doing all of those things, tongue between the teeth, air moving out between your top teeth and your tongue, and it's gentle enough so that it can continue for several seconds, check, 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 then it should sound perfect. So now that we know all of the possible issues around the TH sound and we know exactly how to say it correctly, all we have to do is practice. Practice is important. You can know something and then you forget it because you're speaking, so you have to practice. Repetition is the key. So I'm going to put some words in the description and I want you to check those out. Also, if you want to really get into this stuff and learn more American English pronunciation, you can check out my full pronunciation courses in the links in the description. Those are full long courses, 3 hours, 7 hours, dedicated to mastering American English pronunciation. This is something that I talk about quite often, and I've spent a lot of time teaching pronunciation. Let me know if you have any questions about those. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.